Hi. I thought we would get together for a little fun time this evening. How's everyone? I thought we would talk about your scouting trip. I thought we would talk about when you go to, oh, I'm watching this game. When we go to, sorry, when you go to the place that you're going to scout out to see if you want to live there in a new country. Let's talk about 6 things to check out, to look for. I happen to be doing that exact thing right now in Bogota, Colombia. Thank you. So how's everybody? Hey, Aileen Brown. This is Notification Gang, I think, right? Hi, Winnie B. Hey, Gina Wright. Buenas noches, Harlem Minded. Hello, Julie and Tiana. Hey, Mira. Watching from Harrisburg, wishing I was in Puerto Rico. Okay, let's get you to Puerto Rico. Hey, Shauna. Hey, Release Your Life. Hey, Travel Artistry by VR on the Move. How's everyone? H&D Abroad. So when are y'all in Colombia? Listen, we are missing each other over and over. Well, no, we just saw each other. Seems like we just saw each other. But we will be missing each other because I think Costa Rica, I missed you. So when are you coming to Colombia? Okay. I'm in Bogota, Colombia. I wish I had a view to show you, but it's just like a little sliver of a view. Can you see that? Sun just went down. It is 7:01 p.m. And I was just looking at my list of things that I wanted to scout while I was here, things that I wanted to check out while I was here in Colombia. I just looked at my list and I was like, here's some things I still need to check out. Here's some things I did check out, and I can put a check mark beside. So I thought we would do that together. Yeah, if you're interested in checking out a new place to be your place, let me give you some ideas of what to put on your list. My list is not going to be a full comprehensive list for you because you have different needs than I have, right? You have different concerns and different questions about places than I have. But maybe me talking about what's on my list will help you know what's on your list. I have weather, cost of living, groceries and grocery stores and malls, infrastructure, people, noise. Okay. So let's let's talk about those things, and you can let us know what you would add to your list. And then I'm going to take a breath and introduce myself. Why am I speeding through this? We got all the time together that we could have. Hi, I'm Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter, creator of House Sitter School, and co-creator of Exodus Summit. And on this channel, we talk about Black women bopping around the world as a nomad, leaving the country to take a career break, moving to a new country altogether while embracing ease. If any of these things sound good to you, subscribe to the channel, please. I'll wait for you to do that. Thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I post a new video, or a day like today when I go live, surprise. All right, thanks, friends. So let me share. So I shared my list. Let's run through some of these things, and then you can share what you would put on your scouting trip when you're going someplace to see if you want to stay there. What do you want to know that you need to find out in person? Some things you're going to put on your list to know about, to learn about a place, and you're going to find them out before you get there, because you're going to get in community with other people who live there. You're going to get in community with other people who have moved there, and you're going to ask your questions. So some stuff, you're not starting from zero when you go on a scouting trip. Hopefully you have good info from other people. If you don't know any people in the place you're going, I would start with the Exodus Summit community. Okay, I would start there. But then I would also find communities for people who have moved to that place. And I would get in touch with them, and I would read the answers to previous questions and ask my questions. Okay. So some stuff you're already going to know before you get there. Some well, I don't know, some stuff, okay? But here are the things that I'm in Bogota to scout. Let me find my list again. Number 1, weather. I know weather seems like a thing that you can Google, but weather feels different in different places, okay? You don't have to take my word for it. But before I started on my year traveling around Southeast Asia, 2015 into 2016, I saw Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia's weather reports, and pretty much all year round, it gets into the high 90s with 90% humidity. And I thought, I know what that feels like. In Delaware in July and August, we get 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, right? With 90% humidity. And I was stationed in Texas when I was in the Army. I've been to New Orleans in summertime, right? Like I know what 90 degrees and 90% humidity feels like. But when I got to Malaysia, I found out that it's not the same, right? Humidity is relative. So 90 degrees and 90% humidity in Delaware might feel like it's 108, okay? 90 degrees and 90% humidity in Malaysia feels like 150. Like it's hot, it feels awful to me, right? So sometimes you need to check things out. On the converse, on the flip side, looking at Bogota's weather, it looks like it's too cold to be there. It looks to me, if I hadn't come here and if I hadn't spent time in Costa Rica before this, in San Jose, Costa Rica, I'd be like, high is 68 degrees all year round. Like they don't have, there's no time when it's 78, 82. There's no 82. Where's the 82 days, right? I'm a fan of 82-degree days. They don't have that here. But what they do have is a proximity to the equator, which means in the sun on a 68-degree day, it feels a lot like 82. You wouldn't know that without coming here, because even in the pictures of Colombia, they show the people in Bogota wearing coats all the time. Every time I walk out of the door, then people are wearing coats. And I'm like, girl, it's 70 degrees. Even without the feel, right? Even without we're closer to the equator and 70 might feel like 75 or 80. Even without that, it's legit 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Why are you wearing a down coat? They do that here. It's a thing. They do that here. They wear coats. I feel like they're gaslighting everyone. They're gaslighting the whole world because they don't want you to know how awesome Bogota is. But I think it's important to go to a place and check out the weather for yourself, especially if weather is that important to you. Weather is that important to me, right? I'm a different person in different weather. Costs. So costs are also a thing that people can tell you online, and you can use cost of living calculators inside of the Exodus Summit Exodus Summit Work from Anywhere toolkit. I'm going to give you that link. The Exodus Summit Work from Anywhere toolkit is at exodussummit.com/toolkit. Inside of there, there's some cost of living calculators that'll tell you what people say things cost in different parts of the world. So in the place that you're looking to go, you can see what a kilogram of apples costs. You can see what a one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs. You can see what a ride on the metro costs. But I like to see for myself, because I could tell you, I would tell you, if you said right now, oh, Bogota, what's a one-bedroom apartment in the city cost? I would say 4 million Colombian pesos per month, which is $1,000 per month, right? But you can get a one bedroom for a whole lot cheaper than that, a whole lot less than that. That's what I've been looking at, right? That's in my price range, in my bougie neighborhood, with my bougie grocery stores, right? So you don't know, when people report things, you don't know the full story. So I think it's nice to get somewhere and check it out. Amina says maybe they're wearing the coats for fashion. Yeah. Yes. But also, aren't y'all sweating? Aren't y'all sweating? The other day, I walked from here where I'm staying. I'm in an Airbnb. This is the third place I've stayed in Bogota, the third neighborhood, even though they're all back to back to back. Third neighborhood. The other day, I walked out all the way to Parque Vere, which is a park that I like. Basically there was a man in front of me almost the whole way. We walked almost the whole distance together to get to the park, and then I turned and he kept going. He was wearing a full down coat, and I was wearing a t-shirt, and I'm patting my forehead, patting the sweat. I think it's just Colombian people feel temperature differently, and to them 70 degrees is chilly. Even though some of these people are born in Bogota. Some of these people are not from the hot part of Colombia. Some of them are from the cold part of Colombia. But I don't know. I feel like this is citywide gaslighting campaign, right? You know how people be like, they faked the moon landing and all these people were in on it? I feel like everyone in Bogota is in on this fake temperature thing. They are wearing coats, even without the index, the heat index. It's 70 degrees. You don't need a full coat. Right? What's happening here? Yeah. Yeah, so it different. Yeah, so 68, 69, 70 is the high every day, and 44 is the low every day, right? So when the sun goes down, it's cold. But like, we're walking at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's 70 degrees, 10 o'clock. I go out 10, 11 in the morning. It's 70 degrees, and you don't need that coat on now, right? Does everybody need to have a coat on now at noon? It's not going to get cold until 7:30. It's 7 o'clock now and it's dark outside. It's not going to get cold until 7 p.m. Do we need to wear a coat and boots and scarf all day? I feel like it's a citywide campaign to make people think this place is a cold weather city when it's not. They be out here bundled up. Okay. Yeah, Lux Chow says sounds like San Francisco type weather. Sunnier, I would say, than San Francisco. Well, you know what? I've spent probably I house sat in San Francisco for about a month or so once in the summer. And I visited this summer past. But my brief experience of San Francisco is that there's more sun here. There's more sun in the daytime. The daytime is when the sun is out, it's out, right? Right now, we're getting less rain than Bogota should. There's a drought. Bogota's under a drought. So there's more sun than normal, even more sun than usual. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Okay. The second thing was to check out the costs of things for yourself, the cost of things on your tier, right? If I tell you you can eat, I may tell you you can eat out every day for $15 a meal, but you don't know what that really means. What am I eating? Am I eating prime rib or am I eating McDonald's? I can tell you you can cook your own meals for whatever dollars a week, but you don't really know. So I think it's nice to check out the costs for yourself. You don't want to get someplace and get totally shocked. I think that's helpful. The third thing on my list is to check out your happy places. In my life, happy places as I travel around the world for me include malls and grocery stores. I love going to the mall and I love going to the grocery store. If I'm in, no matter how foreign and like hard the place is, some places are foreign and challenging, exhausting. They wear you out. Everything is different and everything is work trying to figure it out. But then you step into the mall and you know exactly how it works. And you can take a breath and relax and not be, bombarded with difficult things, navigating the language and navigating the this and the that and the transportation and whatever. So for me, malls and grocery stores are places where I can just be and enjoy myself. There are things that I really love, places I really love to go. And so it's nice to go to a place and check out their malls and their grocery stores. Now, when you go to a new place, what makes you, the things that give you a little bit of peace in your old life might not be those things in the new life, right? I'm no longer a person who needs a whole lot of retail therapy. I used to have to do a lot of shopping to cope with my life, right? I used to have to do a lot of shopping to deal with the everything else. And so now I don't do a whole lot of shopping, but I do still like to be in a mall. I like to at least go check out the mall. Let me go check it out. Let me see what it looks like. Those places that make you feel comfortable now may not be the places that make you feel comfortable in a new city, but I would still put them on your list. If you like parks and public spaces, then check out the parks in the place you're considering going and see if it's a place that you would like to go. If you like museums, check out some museums. Do some things that are going to be your like regulators or like baseline bring backers, things that are going to bring you back to level. Check them out for yourself. Okay. Mall still exists. I love them all. In Delaware, the malls are largely like the Christiana Mall, which used to be the mall, right? It's like it's you go there now for Target. When I'm in Delaware, I go to Christiana Mall now to go to Target. Okay, so go to Target and maybe to the food court. So it's a different experience, but it's still a familiar place, right? Amina says she's got to check out supermarkets, bookstores, libraries, museums, and local cafes. Yes, cafes as well. Yeah, yeah. Those are places that I want to check out and make sure that I like them in that city, right? That I'm going to have a place where I can go and chill out for a little bit and relax. Because one thing about being in a foreign place, especially when if you're in a place where the language is different and you're still learning the language, is that everything is challenging. And you're always working, and your brain is always working and trying to figure things out. You don't have a local coffee shop that you like, so you have to figure out where to go get coffee and how to order coffee. And you don't have a regular route to get to places. You always have to figure out how to get there and navigate it. Am I going the right direction? I don't want to pull my phone out in this major city, but I also don't know if I'm going the right way. Like everything is harder. Everything is harder in the beginning. Things that are rote and commonplace in your life today are harder when you go to a new place. And so it's nice to have a place where you can just chill out for a little bit. Chill out. All right. So weather, cost of living, your happy place. Those are things that you want to check out. When I said weather, I left out something. I think it's good to know if you can deal with their specific weather event, you know? Like, so here in Bogota, they don't really have summer and winter. Like, this is technically summer because we're in South America, but the temperature is the same as it is in July. But they do have like a rainy season, kind of. Their rainy season is mixed in. It's like 2 months here and 3 months there and 2 months there, whatever, right? They're in a drought now, so I'm not going to experience that. But the thing that they do have is earthquakes. So maybe it'll be good to get to a place and see if you can deal with their everyday common occurrences that you're just not used to. I experienced earthquakes in Costa Rica, and then when I went to El Salvador, I experienced some like not significant earthquakes, but like more than what I've ever felt in Delaware, right? And I've decided that I could live with that, right? I decided that it was something I could live with. Now, I haven't ever experienced a mega earthquake, and I understand here a few months ago they had an earthquake that was so long and prolonged that people were outside all day. Right? Bogota is a city of apartment buildings and high rises, and so everybody went outside and the ground just would not stop moving and they were outside all day. I don't know what that feels like, but based on my limited experience with earthquakes, I feel like I'd be okay here. Yeah, I feel like it's a thing that I could adjust to and get used to. Right. So, what is their special thing? Like, what is their special thing? And then Gina's mentioning another thing, the high altitude. High altitude took me 3 or 4 days to really get used to. And I think every time I come back, I'm going to have to adjust over again. I don't think altitude is a thing where, like, once you deal with it, you deal with it. I think every time I leave here and come back to this high altitude, I'm going to have to adjust over again. But it took me two serious days, 2 days where I was like, whew, this is getting to me. And then the other 2 days, couple more days of like, I think I'm feeling better. And now I don't feel a difference. Like I said, I've walked 5K or 3 miles, 3/4 of my time here every day, at least. Well, it was a couple of days with Rashida, I walked way more than that. That was accidental. And I haven't had any negative effects since the first couple of days. So that's back to the weather thing. TJ, I experienced my first earthquake in Puerto Vallarta last week. I jumped out of bed and just stood there. My wife would have slept through it had I not woke her up. A little scary. Yeah. The first time I ever felt an earthquake was actually in Delaware. And it was the first earthquake I'd ever felt. And the whole internet was like, was that an earthquake? Was that an earthquake? Everybody got on Facebook. It was so not impactful that we weren't even sure if it was an earthquake, right? Could it have been something else that caused the ground to shake like that? Then when I went to El Salvador, and in Costa Rica, even I spent a few months every year for the last 3 years in Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, I felt earthquakes where I was like, we're having an earthquake, but never like earthquake. But then when I went to El Salvador, there were a couple, and it might have just been because I was in a high rise when I was in El Salvador. There were a couple where I was like, should I do something? Let me see. Is anybody else leaving this building? If everybody else stays in their apartments, I'll stay in mine. And then I mentioned to somebody, he was like, yes, this is a very seismic country, right? I think if you're going to be in North America, Central America, or South America, I think earthquakes are just a fact of life, I feel like. And so I can't do much about it. I can't do much except say, do I think I could navigate this or not? Do I think I could deal with this or not? Right? If I was a person who was going to always be, every time I laid in the bed, I'd be afraid to go to sleep because is there an earthquake coming? Right? Then maybe I choose another weather event. There's no place on the planet where you're not going to have some sort of weather event. You just have to choose the ones that you're willing to deal with. When I mention the Caribbean, people always mention people say they can't live in the Caribbean because they don't want to have to deal with hurricanes, right? They don't want to have to deal with that. There's something everywhere. And there's something everywhere. And it's just a matter of what is a thing that I'm okay with having to possibly have to deal with? And what is a thing that I don't want to have to deal with? You decide for yourselves. I'm from Delaware. We've had hurricanes. We've had blizzards. I don't want to deal with a blizzard. I'll take a hurricane over a blizzard any day. That's me. A regular hurricane, a regular earthquake. I said hurricane, regular earthquake over a blizzard. Not a catastrophic earthquake, but a regular everyday one. Okay, it'll be okay. All right, so we're checking out weather, costs, grocery stores, and happy places. Another thing to check out is infrastructure. What systems, what systems that the government has control over, or not, I guess, do you have to access on a regular basis, and do you enjoy that process? If you're going to drive in a new city, how do you like the driving in that place? How do you like the highways? Are the roads maintained? Can you navigate that? Puerto Rico had some awful roads, awful highways, like crumbling, awful highways. I would assume that's a result of the hurricanes. Meanwhile, California, when I was there, had great highways. I remember being like, these roads are great, right? So infrastructure. Are you going to be on public transportation, and how is that? So the bus system here seems pretty comprehensive. I would like to live in a part of Bogota where I can just walk to do my everyday things, but also have buses as a backup. Uber here is very inexpensive as well. That kind of stuff. The water here is a problem. I think just like a lot of this part of the world anyway, El Nino means that there has been a drought in Bogota, and they're turning off water 1 day a week in every part of the city. They're rotating through different parts of the city that don't have water 1 day out of 8. There's 8 segments of the city or whatever. And so how can I handle that? I think I can handle no water more than no electricity, right? If I was in my concern about something like South Africa, my concern about Johannesburg would be the rolling blackouts. I think no water, would be okay for a day, easier for a day than no electricity. With no water, I can still work, right? With no electricity, I can't make any money. Right? If I mess up and I run out of juice on my laptop and my phone, I can't make any money. So I think I'm okay with that. Lots of this part of the world had serious drought over the last couple of years. So there's not a lot where, like Dover, Delaware had a significant lack of rain, had a significant drought in 2024. Even Delaware, they had some like some cutbacks or whatever, something you couldn't water your lawn and stuff in Delaware last year. So I don't think there's any place that's going to be untouched. Just like every place has their weather things, every place has their extreme weather things happening as well, right? If we're experiencing global warming, or what's it called, extreme weather. What are we calling it? We're not calling it global warming anymore. We're calling it with that, whatever. Y'all know the term. Not extreme weather. Global warming the term is now something else. If every place is experiencing that, then we have to figure out the thing that we can navigate and what we can't navigate. Some stuff you may not know until you're there. If climate change, thank you. Like, I know there's a word, there's a new term, not even a new term. Okay, climate change, right? If everybody's experiencing climate change, what does that look like in this place? And is this a thing that I can navigate, or is it not? Can I not handle it? Right? Flooding, water outages. I think that's the way of the world, and we have to pick. I don't know where you're going to go, where you're not going to be affected by climate change. So you decide, you pick, right? Infrastructure. Another thing to consider is like, do I need to work here? And what does that feel like? The internet here, I am not impressed with Bogota's internet. But just like in Costa Rica, I feel like I can get into an apartment or into a home and get good internet. It's just that the places I've been have not had the speediest internet. I don't like that, but it's a thing that I'm going to navigate every day. Just like in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico was the first time I noticed it. And now it's here too. Every day after about 5 o'clock p.m., the internet speed plummets. Like, it's terrible. In Puerto Rico, it stayed like that until I went to bed. Here, it's about 2 hours of really slow internet, which is why I'm doing this live instead of pre-recording and uploading. Because I sat down to pre-record about 6:15, and I did my speed test, and my speed test said my upload speed was 6.83, and I was like, forget it, I'll just go live, right? Upload speed of 6.83 means by the time I uploaded the video, I'd have forgotten about the video. I was like, forget it, I'll go live. Yeah, so you need to check things out for yourself, I think. Some people will tell you things are worse than they are. Some people will tell you things are better than they are, but you don't know what you can navigate until you see it for yourself. Okay. Shakira and Justin Timberlake, March 2025. So Shakira is the woman here. There's a of course, she's Colombian. I'm in a more college part of this town. There's a university, Santander University, right here, like literally right out the window. And I heard every night now lately, there's been music at night. And I'm like, oh yeah, Shakira's Colombian. They'll play like 4 songs and then Shakira, and then 4 more songs and then Shakira. I'm like, yeah. Hello, I'm in Colombia. I need to find some more Colombian musicians and listen to some other Colombian music. But I'm like, oh yeah, Shakira. Colombia has a large African descent population, especially on the coast. Will I be going to Medellin or Cartagena? No time soon, but yes. Yeah, I plan to spend a lot of time around here, but I don't have any plans to go to any other city in Colombia anytime soon. I got to get myself set up here. But yes, yeah. Yeah. So how did we do? Yeah, that's exactly what I said, Pinky. I was like, by the time I sit down and record this, right, it's already going to be another 20 minutes before I record it. And then I get ready to hit the upload button. It's going to take an hour to upload. I said, forget it. Let me do it live. Let me just wait and do it live. Yeah, I think that's going to be a thing that I'm going to have to navigate. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups for expats in Colombia, in Bogota in particular. And they said that most of the apartment buildings and most of the buildings have 2 different providers of internet. And almost all of them were like, I started with one and I switched to the other, and the other was better. But none of them none of them are so the two of the three are Claro and Movistar. And there's half of the people are like, I started with Claro and I switched to Movistar and it was better. And the other half are like, I started with Movistar and I switched to Claro and it was better. So I'm anticipating having to deal with that myself. I have, some of the buildings here also have Starlink, which is satellite internet. And they see people in the group who have Starlink say they have the best internet, right? The best experience, but that's owned by Elon Musk. I wish there was another way, right? So I'm prepared mostly to just have Movistar and Claro, see which one. Maybe I keep them both. And, if it's that inexpensive, I just switch back and forth based on whichever one has the best speed at that particular moment. I think it's a thing that I can navigate based on it not being awful. If it was awful here, I would not, it wouldn't work because I need internet to make money. But it's better than Puerto Rico, right? The delay or the slowdown that happens every day when everybody gets off work is better than, it's not as terrible as it was in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, I think I would have had to, so they had, in Puerto Rico, that house sit that I was in, they had Starlink. That was his backup. The husband was a podcaster. He was a podcaster and a, whatever, business person. He was a lot like me. He needed the internet. So he had Starlink as a backup. I never used it because when the internet got slow, I just went outside and started working on the puzzle, started put the puzzle together, and then went to bed. But I couldn't live like that. I couldn't be it all the time. Yeah. Starlink is owned by Elon Musk. How is it moving out of the country with children? LaShawn, I would get inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook community and talk to some women who have moved out of the country with children. Based on the women that I've interviewed and I've talked to on this channel, right? And based on my friends, I would say if you are moving abroad to give your kids a better childhood, it's going to be worth it for you. If you want them to live in a country where they get to be children, live in a country or a city or a town or a location where they get to run around and be kids and have friends and do kid things and be off of the devices, not have their face in devices all day, I think you're going to find it's worthwhile. So the Exodus Summit community is exodussummit.com/community. I would get in community with the women inside of the Exodus Summit space, and I would talk to some women with children. And then I would also look, so I can't recall the last time I interviewed someone on this channel with a age child, right? The women I usually talk to have adult children, but I'm sure it hasn't been too long since I've interviewed someone. But that's what I would do. Maribel, when you house sit for clients, do you disclose that you work remote? Yeah. Is it an issue? Never an issue? Yeah, I disclose that because I need good internet, right? So I'll be like, I work from my computer, I work remotely, and I'm expecting them to be like, oh, you can't do that from here if it's a problem. So yeah, I always do. And they like it because it means that I'm going to be in the house a lot of times, right? Because I'm working from my computer during work hours, I'm probably going to be sitting in the house. And they'll like that. Their pets will like that. Their pets will like it that I'm going to be in the house and not gone all day sightseeing. Although there are plenty of clients who don't mind if you're gone all day sightseeing, but they do like it if you're home, might like it a little more, mostly. All right, weather, cost of living, grocery stores, malls, happy places, infrastructure. The fifth thing I'm checking out on this scouting trip is the people. Can I get a temperature check on the people? How are the people? Coming from Costa Rica, right? Having spent some time in Costa Rica with some of the best people in the world, not kidding. I didn't have high expectations for people in Bogota because I heard that these were the coldest people in Colombia, right? I heard the Colombians were pretty nice, but in Bogota, they were a little colder. But they've been really good. No problems. I had a woman in the grocery store just a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. I was walking out of the entrance by mistake. And so then I stopped and froze and looked around, put my cart away, and then did a little turn. And an older woman came up to me and she said, "I speak English. I can help you." Right? Right? Just out of nowhere. When the first time, this is the same grocery store that Rashida and I went to together, where a woman like put her hands over her heart and bowed down to us, bowed to us, like instead of just a standard good morning, it was buenos dias. Right? So people have passed the temperature check. I don't need people to be out. I don't need people to be Costa Rica friendly. I don't need the strangers to be Costa Rica friendly, right? But they have been. People have been pretty warm, but I do need to feel like I could be in community with people and would not always be the outsider. And I think I feel that, right? I feel that. I don't feel like I would always be the outsider, you know? That's coming based on just vibes, right? If I get my Spanish up, now one thing about here, they make you speak Spanish. Okay, you're gonna hablar ya español. So, but I think that it would get my Spanish up. I think I would be in community. I wouldn't just be the outsider. Part of that is because this is not a city full of foreigners who move in and stay to themselves. Because people don't really move to Bogota, because it's not Cartagena, it's not Medellin, right? It's not the beach, it's not any of those other places. All the foreigners go to those places and kind of stay to themselves. Here, if you come here, you got to get in the mix, right? You got to get in the mix. So I feel comfortable with that. Inside of the expat, I'm in two different expat groups, and one of them, the people seem nice. They seem to like it here. They don't seem to get together. So I'm going to have to get some hobbies to meet some people. The expat groups do not seem like they get together here. That makes me think that they must be making friends, right? They must be getting that need met with local people. But if you move down here, we will be getting together, okay? Because I want some friends. They also talk kindly about the people who help them live their lives well. Some of the people in the groups are people who move here because they work remotely, but some of the people are people who got transferred here through their U.S. employer or through their international employer. And they speak kindly about the nanny, the housekeeper, the driver, right? Which makes me feel like that they're not, this is not a place where the expats are here to exploit, like in some places it feels like. So the people, my quick vibe check, so I've been here for 3 weeks now. My quick vibe check is that I like the people here, right? And I think that they would like me. Bogota is not the blackest part of Colombia. I hardly see Black Colombians. And I'm like, every time I leave, I see Black people, but I'm talking about less than 10%. I need to look it up, but I would say, well, on this side of town anyway, I know I'm in the bougie part of town, but on this side of town, less than 10% of the people I see are Black or what I would call Afro-Latino, maybe less than 5%, seriously. But there are Black people here. And so if I could find a Black friend in San Jose, Costa Rica, I can find some Black friends here. I know that. I know that. Okay. Another thing on my list is just noise. And by noise is a placeholder. So for a thing that you need to check out on your scouting trip, noise is just a placeholder for like, how are things done differently in a place that you're not used to? Mexico is loud. I love Mexico, but it's noisy. Okay? From the cities to there's only one city in Mexico, truth be told, to the towns, to the little areas, it's loud. What are the cultural differences that you wouldn't know to look for or ask about before you got someplace? So I'm putting noise in that space, but I just mean a way that things are done differently that I was not expecting. Here, I haven't found anything super different because I've spent a decent amount of time in Mexico, a decent amount of time in Costa Rica. I haven't found things super different. Now, like I said, we're in a colder part of Colombia, and it's quieter than you would expect, even though I just said I'm in the college section now and it's noisier at night. But I haven't found a thing that is the equivalent of noise, you know? Because I guess it's Latin America. Latin America is Latin America. But I'm sure if I stayed here long enough, there is some cultural difference that I would not have known to ask about. But then when I got here, I was like, oh, that's a thing. Yeah. Courtney says, any issue with trash pickup, trash on the street. This is the streets here are cleaner than San Jose, than Costa Rica. But I don't know the trash system. I see trash bags on the street. Like in Costa Rica, the trash goes right on the street, or sometimes they put it in like a little basket thing. There's not dumpsters. There's not putting trash into dumpsters. They're just putting it in bags on the street. If a dog or cat gets into it, it's all up and down the street. Here, that system is cleaner. Again, I'm in the bougie part of town. So I don't know if I don't know how much of Bogota can say it's cleaner, but this is cleaner. I walk this park, this city park, several times a week. Hardly ever see trash. And I've seen dog poop on the street 4 times in 3 weeks, right? I'm the kind of person who would count that, okay? I've only seen dog poop on the street 4 times in 3 weeks. And one of the times somebody had it was runny and she couldn't pick it up. I guess he or she couldn't pick it up. So they just put a bunch of leaves around it so you wouldn't miss it. And don't step in this. 4 times. And there are dogs all over the city, like dogs everywhere. I don't mean stray wild dogs. I just mean every Bogota family has a dog. And because I walk to that particular park, I see dogs every time I walk out the house, I'm seeing dogs, right? And I've seen poop on the street 4 times only. When Rashida was here, she was here for 8 days? We saw 1 dog poop incident, right? Which is very different from any other city I've ever been to. I've been to Southeast Asia where they go out and clean up every morning and sweep off pick up the poop, sweep off the street, spray the sidewalk down. That is the same system that they use here. They get up every day, they're cleaning up the front of the sidewalk or whatever. So that's a thing. So yeah, I don't have so there's no trash problem. So what I'm saying is there's no trash problem. There's no dog poop problem on this side of town. I am in the east, like if you look at a map of Bogota, I'm in the east side, but not quite into the mountains. And not bad. Crime. It's a major city. There's 8-point-some million people here. It's a major city. So pickpocketing, your phone, your purse, you got to protect yourself. It's a city like all other cities where certain crimes are specific to certain areas. In the area that I'm in, the crime to be on watch for is pickpocketing and phone snatching, but not violent crime, right? Bogota has a higher violent crime rate than other parts of Latin America, right? Coming from Costa Rica, where the violent crime rate was like, ain't none, right? Bogota has a higher violent crime rate, but much lower than Wilmington, Delaware. So I'll be all right. I'm gonna stay in parts of town where I know I know it's safe to be in. Uh, have I been able to experience Colombian food? Yes. And the rumors are true. They don't season Colombian food. Okay. Bring your little salt packets to the rest. If you're getting Colombian food, okay, you're going to bring your own seasoning. You're going to bring your salt packets. You're going to bring your Lowry seasons, whatever you need, you're going to bring it with you. Okay. Now, when I've eaten other food, I've had Korean food here. I've had sushi more than once. I've had steak, which is could be Bogota, but we went to a really nice steak restaurant. Actually, I had a burger at the steak restaurant. Right. So anything that I've had that was not typical, right? Anything that was not the Colombian food was seasoned fine, except for KFC. I had chicken from KFC that was not seasoned either. I don't know what happened. But if you get Colombian food, they don't do that. They might flavor the food. There's flavor, but there's not seasoning. My hotels, the first two hotels that I stayed in, this is my fourth location in Bogota. I said third. This is my fourth location, 2 Airbnbs and 2 hotels so far. The hotels that I stayed in, they had the best looking soups on the menu every single time. I'm like, let me get my little salt packets. Let me fix this soup up. There was seasoning, there was flavor in there. There was flavor, but not seasoning, if that makes sense. So the rumors are true. Bring your own salt. Okay? The rumors are very true. Healthcare. So that's the thing I didn't put on the scouting list because I don't know how to scout healthcare. I know how to find out before you get here from people like, did you have a good experience with your doctor? What hospital did you choose? What insurance company are you using? But I frankly don't know how to scout healthcare in a place when you don't really need anything. So that's a good thing to put on your list, but I don't have any advice on how to scout healthcare in the place. I would scout out healthcare in groups. First, I'd just get online and be like, what's their reputation, right? And where do they fall on the list of their organizations who will give you rankings of countries based on their healthcare. Where does this country fall? I think picking a country that is above the United States on that list, you're probably going to be satisfied. And then I would get in community and ask people, do you have a primary care provider that you like? Who is that? Do you have a OBGYN that you like? Do you have a whatever, dermatologist, whatever? But I think a lot of that can be done before you come. And I don't know I don't know how to scout healthcare while you're here if you don't need healthcare while you're here, right? Now, I could have gone and gotten something done to scout that out. But I feel like that's a thing, that is a thing that you can know without coming. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. And I don't have any conditions conditions that require me to be super on top of my healthcare, right? I just have, I'm just a regular person. I'm just a 50-year-old woman. So that's that. But yeah, scouting healthcare. Has anybody done a scouting trip and specifically done something to scout out healthcare in that place? Can you give us any info, any advice? Because a lot of healthcare systems around the world, a lot of like hospitals and stuff around the world put menus on the internet with pricing. I feel like you can do a lot of that work before you come. Here, right? Even here, Colombia has a reputation of, let me think about that. Panama, was it here that I flew in that they had a big old sign like, hey, Americans, come get your healthcare? Was it here or Panama? I think it's here, has a reputation for Americans coming down, getting healthcare. A lot of Central and South America is medical tourism friendly. And I think, it was here, the billboard. The reason thousands of people travel to No, that was in Panama. I had my layover was in Panama. That was Panama. The reason thousands of people travel to Panama every year, the best healthcare services are right here. So Panama has that reputation, but Colombia also good reputation. Yeah, the luxury bucket list. Yeah, also a good reputation. If you find lists of health, if you find online lists from someone from an independent source who is ranking healthcare by country, I think as long as you pick a country that is above the United States on that list, you're going to be satisfied because it's better than what you're used to. It's better than what you're used to. So what? It's going to be better health care for lower cost. What's the complaint? I would guess in Bogota, you're going to pay a premium for English speaking healthcare providers, where in Panama, it's probably not. There's probably no difference in price. That's my guess. That's just a guess. And I could be totally wrong. That's my guess. In Panama, I think everybody speaks English in Panama. First of all, they've all spent a significant of time in Florida. They're just Floridians, right? Every time I got into an Uber or a taxi or Uber in Panama, I was like, why do you sound like that? Why do you sound like you're from Florida? Because they're from Florida. Okay. So luxury bucket list, plastic surgery is a birthright in Colombia. I might get some stuff done. I might get some stuff done while I'm here. All right, I might get some things done. Okay, so anything else that we didn't talk about to scout that you would scout? Oh, my stethoscope travels. I should have, yes. Michelle says, also drop in a pharmacy and speak to the pharmacist. Good advice. One thing that's going to blow you away if you've never done that in another country is that a pharmacist is able to do a lot of the care that you are used to having to go to a doctor for. Yeah. In every place I've been, except for the United States, you go to the pharmacist, you tell them what your problem is, and your pharmacist is like, take this and that, or whatever, or do this, don't do that. We're not used to that, but what drugstores are different, and walking into the pharmacy is a different experience in a lot of the world, including here. I haven't been. We walked in one. Just Rashida likes to compare drug prices. So we walked in and she compared the price, and for her, the price was less in Mexico than here. And then I just went to the pharmacy and bought a box of hair dye and eyebrow pencil, which I don't like. I brought an eyebrow thing that I don't like. But yeah, that's a thing to do on a scouting trip. That's a thing, especially if you're already on a prescription. If you're on some prescription medication in the United States on your scouting trip, go into the pharmacy, find out what it costs there, and find out if you need a prescription, which you very well may not. It may be over the counter and a lot cheaper. So that is a good thing to do on your scouting trip. Inside of Exodus Summit 2024, Michelle did a whole session. Michelle is an MD. She's a doctor. She did a whole session for us on medically preparing to move abroad. And so she gave us a good list of what to do beforehand and what to do in your new place and what to take with you. Okay, ExodusSummit.com if you want to watch the replays of Exodus Summit 2024. That session was really helpful. Okay, anything else to check out? And did y'all, H&D abroad, did y'all tell me when and where in Colombia? When are you coming and where are you going to be and how long? Because I leave here the 2nd. I leave here in just over a week, and I'm not going to be back until probably the very, very end of March or the 1st of April. I'll say the 1st of April. I'm not going to be back till the 1st of April. So where and when? Okay, Dr. Alyssa, I found the food in Colombia better than Panama, but worse than Mexico. I would agree with that. Based on my limited time in Panama, I would agree with that. But then everything else I ate was good. Oh no, here's my only gripe, right? The internet's not that strong, and you know what? I don't care. I'm staying. But the only thing that's got me thinking twice is I have not found actual vanilla extract, only imitation. I got some right here now, imitation. Ugh, yuck. So I think I'm just gonna have to become a person who makes her own vanilla. Find a way to sneak some vanilla beans into the country, or vanilla, what does it grow on? Find a way to sneak some vanilla in and just make my own vanilla extract. Because I have not found, I've been to 3 different chains. I've been to 5 different stores, but 3 chains: Olympia, Fresh Market, and it's right there. The third one, I can't remember what it's called. 3 different chains of stores, and I have not found vanilla extract anywhere. Only imitation, which I refuse. I bought it because I thought maybe the imitation vanilla here is really good. It's not. It's not. It only cost me $1, so I can't complain. But I don't like it, and I gotta find it. I gotta find it, or I'm gonna make it. Okay. You just stick vanilla in vodka. I believe Katrina made me some vanilla extract not too long ago. Or she didn't make it for me. She made some vanilla and she gave me one of the bottles. And I believe you just stick vanilla in vodka. Is that right? I believe that's it. If that's it, I can make it. So let me find a farmer. I'm gonna have to bring some back first of all. When I get back here in April, I will have vanilla extract on me. Okay, understand that. I will have it on me, but I also have to figure out how to make it because I can't find it. There may be some actual imported. Let me find it. Let me look right now for an imported grocery store. I'm just going to the regular grocery stores. Imported market food. Imported foods near me. That's the thing. That's the thing that's got me vexed. I'm like, the internet is really slow from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Oh well. Oh well, I can deal with that. But let me tell you, this no vanilla thing, I can't take it. So there's something called Eats Gastro Market. No, I know it doesn't look right. And then Karula, Y&Y Asian Market. I'm not seeing anything that looks like a very bougie imported market near me. Oh, Gourmet Grocery Store. Okay, I'm gonna try that. It's 1 mile away, 0.9 miles away. Okay, I'm gonna keep looking because that would really change. That would change things for me. Vodka or rum, Sparkling Jewel says vodka or rum in a mason jar, sealed in a dry, dark place. Yeah, Katrina gave me some. I went to where when she before she was out in the world, went to her where she lived, and she was like, "Here, have some homemade vanilla." It's in Delaware right now. I messed up for a long time. I didn't tell my dad what it was, but then my dad bakes. He's like I want something sweet. Let me go bake some sweet potato pies. Right? That's my dad. He's he's good at baking. So for a while I didn't tell him, but then finally I told him that it was homemade vanilla. He was like, "Oh, really?" So I don't know how much will be there when I get there. I put vanilla extract in my coffee. I put it in my oatmeal. I put it in my French toast or pancakes. I put vanilla extract. I pour it liberally throughout my life. Vanilla extract flows liberally through my life. And when I don't have it, I feel not good. I am not my highest self when I don't have real vanilla extract. And so they have an essence of vanilla. The one I have says imitation essence of vanilla, right? Imitation, yeah, imitation essence of vanilla. So yes, I want the essence of vanilla, but I don't want the imitation. I want the actual vanilla. There's a difference. There's a difference. Imitation vanilla extract for the bottle was pretty big, was only $1, whereas actual vanilla extract should cost several dollars. Several dollars. I don't have a particular brand I enjoy. Oh, Amina, who gave me that vanilla from the Caribbean? She bought me a bottle of vanilla from the Caribbean, which was a little bit, not quite syrupy, but thicker. I was like, oh, this is good. No, who was that? Oh, I'll remember as soon as we're done. Um, Amina, the woman who went to the Cancun meetup and then just stayed out in the world and never went home, who we haven't seen in quite a while. Now that I think about it, yeah. So she brought me some vanilla from, I don't remember which, Barbados. Anyway, the answer is no. As long as it's pure, as long as it's real vanilla extract, I don't have a favorite. Okay. Okay, thank you, Layla. Bring me some. Yes, so people gift me vanilla extract because that's my thing. We talked in the summit about about not gifting people things that they're going to then have to deal with. Gift them things that they're going to use up, right? I'm going to use up vanilla extract. Whereas if you gifted me another mug, now I got to try, I got to deal with another mug. But if you give me some vanilla extract, it's going to be put to good use. Thank you. I accept gifts. If this is not clear, if I'm not clear, I accept gifts. Okay, thank you. We're getting together in Vietnam, as you may know, and I'm going to try to bring some gifts back for other people because I am actually a receiver of gifts. And maybe on this trip, I can be a giver of gifts. Maybe I'll try it, see how I feel. I am very capable at receiving. So maybe it's time to try something else. A Life of Growth asks, how's the coffee in Colombia? Is it good? I heard it's very good. It's A plus, very good. I got no complaints. Even I'm drinking my coffee naked, right? I'm not even putting vanilla in it because I don't have any vanilla. It's enjoyable. They do a sugar here. So they have a sugar cane. So you can buy regular, you can use regular sugar, but they also have panela, like a sugar cane. It's a different sugar. It's not brown sugar. And it's not that same sugar that you get in other places that's brown, but it's really white sugar. It's a whole different thing. I'm trying my hardest not to get hooked on that. I'm like, girl, it's really, really, really rich tasting, and too much is too much. If I put a little too much sugar in my coffee of regular sugar, it's okay. It's whatever. It's just a little sweet. But if I put too much of that in my coffee, ooh. They have there's a third option, cane sugar. Yes, it's cane sugar, right? But it's just, I've had cane sugar before, right? I'm sure, but this is a different thing, isn't it? Or have I never had cane sugar before? Is that what it is? I thought I had panela. Anyway, it's panela, and now I know because I ordered a limonada, and they had a limonada with sugar, and they had a limonada with panela. And ooh, I had to water that stuff down. Unprocessed cane sugar. Okay, so I've had cane sugar that's processed, I guess. Because I've had cane sugar, but this stuff, they do a different thing. They have a third option on them shelves. You have to be careful, okay? And then they also do have the cone, but no, this one, it comes loose. But they also do have it in a cone. Yeah, it's called Panella. Hey, Alfreda. Every time I see your name, I'm like, I meant to talk to Alfreda. I gotta holler at you about talking on my channel sometime soon. It's called Panella de Cana. Yes, there's taste, there's richness, there's something else. It's something else. It's something I've never experienced before. Palm sugar, is that what it is? But you have to be careful with that. You got to be careful with that. The question was about coffee. I love the coffee. I'm satisfied with that. I'll be happy here. Costa Rica was also very good coffee. So I'm happy. All right. So we talked about scouting in particular, and we talked about scouting in Colombia for me. Is anybody planning a scouting trip anytime soon? Spring break would be a great time, friends, for you to get somewhere. Get to some place that's on your list of possibles and see. See if you can see it. See if you can see yourself there. Scouting trips do two things. They answer your questions about a place, but they also make your life a reality in a place. Everything is always an idea, a thought, a wish, a dream until you experience it, till you get yourself in there. And then you're like, ah, I can see it. It's real. So, oh, the luxury bucket list. I'm on my scouting trip in Rome right now. Oh, buongiorno. I guess it's, yeah, it have to be daytime in Rome right now, right? 8 plus, no, it's got to be like morning or like 3 in the morning. What time is it? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Is it 2 o'clock in the morning for you? Buonasera is good night, right? Buonasera, something like that. Girl, go to bed. Go to bed. Dealzilla, Thailand on Saturday? Oh, how exciting. I hope you love it. Ah, okay, scouting trips abound. Antigua, Guate, and Bogota, and Marzo. Okay, next month. No, well, March is not next month, but it's almost next month. Okay, good, good, good. We're doing it. Oh, Audacious V, currently scouting Chiang Mai, Thailand, will later scout Indonesia and Malaysia. Oh, V, do you know that we're going to be in Vietnam, February like 20 to 28? Do you know that? Do you have time to hang out with us? Inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook group at exodussummit.com/community, there's an events section with that meetup. Kimberly, excited for Riviera Maya for spring break. First time in Mexico? All right, right on time. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. Sinal says Colombia is on her list. Check. All right, get on down. I know. Well, so Tamara, she says spring break is a whack time to travel because there's kids galore. It is, but for some people, it's the best time to go. If you're going on a scouting trip, you're probably not going to be where the tourists are. Even if you're going to a city that's going to have a lot of tourists, you're probably going to be in neighborhoods and parts of that city where they're not going to be. So it'll be okay. Ain't nobody taking spring break trips to Bogota. I don't think. Ain't no spring breakers in Bogota. You'll be okay. Pursue higher dreams. Hey, Crystal, I'm going to San Jose for dental work on March 10th, staying for 2 weeks. Good. San Jose, Costa Rica. Okay, muy bien, muy bien. All right, we get out here. Life lessons. I'm going to Panama in April. All right. Yes, we're doing it. So was there anything on your scouting list that I didn't mention? Portugal in September for Carol. All right. Portuguese. What do I know? I don't know anything in Portuguese. And Jackie, Cape Verde and Portugal in March through June. All right, very good. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. We'll be in Hoi An in February. I'm still in Bogota. Oh, already booked for Hoi An. Oh, okay. We'll see you, Audacious V. Okay, see you, girl. Yeah, so Vietnam is not necessarily a place that I would scout to live because Vietnam does not have a clear path to residency, I don't think. And Vietnam is a different kind of country. Communist countries have rules that Americans are not used to. It's a nice place to visit, but I can't imagine living there. But Vietnam is real close to a whole bunch of places that Americans do love to live. Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia will convert a lot of people. Get yourself to the city. If you're a city person, get yourself to Kuala Lumpur and check it out for yourself. Even though I can't deal with the temperature, you might. Lots of parts of Thailand are very enticing to American people. Those are probably the 2 most frequented countries in Southeast Asia for living, right? For traveling, all of it. Travel all of Southeast Asia. But to move to Malaysia and Thailand, Thailand has a funny tourist visa that you can't stay all the time, or like they have some sort of in between residency type thing. It's not the easiest place to get residency, but it is an easy place to dip in and out of, you know? Okay. 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 How did we do? Columbia, my turn's coming to Columbia in June. Okay, good. Lori last year scouted Sicily. I like Sicily. Oh, good. Also be checking out parts of Spain. Houses are cheap in the smaller cities. Yes. Good, good. Okay. Janine, Nice, France with my daughter, the end of September. Elaine, Bali in August. We're doing it. Okay, okay. I guess I should have asked this earlier in the live stream. Taking my first international trip with my daughter in April to San Miguel, Mexico. I'm hoping to stay in Casa Elm. Oh, good. You might want to book that. Okay, Casa Elm does stay booked up. Michelle Wedderburn, our friend, has a home in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, that is like a soft landing spot for Black women and Black families who want to scout out Mexico or move to Mexico. And so inside of her home, she's got, it's like a bed and breakfast. But I believe she stays booked up. Okay, so you might want to get that on the books, get your reservation on the books ASAP. Just a word, a hint, a word to the wise. Cindy, Thailand's really trending right now. Yeah, Thailand is a great choice for some people. If you're okay with being that far away from the United States, right? If you have people that you need to get back and forth to, you need to be okay with it taking a day and a half or 2 days for you to get back, right? If that's okay with you, Thailand is a great choice. The food is good. People are nice. Cost of living is good. You can have a variety of experiences. So you can be in the big city in Thailand. You can be on a little island in Thailand. You can be up in a town. Chiang Mai is a city, but a town city, right? There's some choices there. And, food, people, weather, it checks off a lot of people's things on their list. Cost of living checks off a lot of things. Plus plus in Southeast Asia, you can do a lot of traveling to other places. You can see a lot of the world from Thailand. So good. Okay. And Bonnie Rock's going to scout out Thailand before the Vietnam meetup. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a really good choice for a lot of people. As long as you're okay with, if you have to come back, it's going to take you a couple of days. Okay. It's going to take you a couple of days. Thailand is not a choice for somebody who wants to fly back to the US every 2 months for whatever reason. Right? I don't think, unless you're okay with that. Some people might be okay with flying 2 days every month. I don't know. I don't know. So they have yes, I saw this in the group the other day. They have a 5-year visa, but the 5-year visa is not for 365 days out of those 5 years, right? It's half time. You can be there half the year for 5 years, or am I misunderstanding? Do your Googles, friends. Don't, I'm going by what I think I skimmed from somebody's post somewhere, but I think that's what I know. Benita's going to the relocation tour in Casa Elm in February in Mexico. Very good. Okay, we're doing it. I'm so excited. Traveling strong, looking into Medellin. Good, good. Okay. And Cynthia going to Colombia in April for vacation. Okay, we're doing it. And Voice of Truth. Okay, this is important. Thailand does have a good retirement visa for over 50s. Good point. Sometimes I forget that I'm over 50. They do have that. If you're over 50, the retirement visa is a good choice. But it's the under 50 people who have to try something different. Try something different. But if you're over 50, yeah, Thailand is another place with a clear pathway to residency, and the money required for that visa is very low compared to some other places. Good choice. Good choice. Yeah, if I yeah, I think Thailand is we're not talking about it enough, I would say, but we can fix that. A couple of y'all move there and then come back and tell us. Laila, Eritrea and Ethiopia, July and August. We're going. Okay, we're going places. I'm so glad to hear this. Yeah, okay, 5 years, 180 days each time. You don't need to leave to reset it. Okay. That's what I thought the new visa was. Okay. Okay, good. You can stay for 180 days, do a run twice a year for up to 5 years. I thought it was you can stay for 180 days, but then you need to be gone for 180 days. Okay. I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't read the whole thing. But yeah, they do have a separate retirement visa if you're 50 or older, life lessons. That's very accessible. Yes, accessible. Pursue higher dreams. I'm looking into a month in Guadalajara. Also by August, this time I'm going to be much more slow mad, move much slower. Okay, good. Okay, I'm so glad to hear it. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear about your scouting trips that are coming up. When you are ready to report back, please do that. Okay, and I'll keep you posted on my scouting process. Like I said, I'll only be here for another week and a half or so, and then I'll be gone until April. But when I come back in April, I expect it to be for good, you know. So I'll keep you posted. You keep me posted. And in the meantime, get yourself into the Exodus Summit community, exodussummit.com/community. If you're a Black woman who is interested in this conversation, you're going to love the Exodus Summit squad. Join us. Yes, we're on Facebook right now. If you're watching this January of 2025, we're on Facebook right now. But if you're watching this in the future, we might be somewhere else. Okay. If you don't like Facebook like that, click on the link, see what happens. We may have moved. Okay. Click on the link. We may have moved. And then if you are interested in like finding out what places in the world are you not even considering that you might want to consider for your move abroad, take our quiz. Which country should I move to? Take the quiz from Exodus Summit called Which Country Should You Move to? It's going to give you a city somewhere in the world, a place for you to start investigating. Not a place for you to pick up and move to because the quiz said move there, but a place for you to be like, oh, this sounds interesting. Now, what are some other places like that that I might want to try out? Okay, quiz at exodussummit.com/quiz. Okay, friends, thanks for hanging out. It's Thursday, so I hope you're having a good week so far, and I hope that your weekend coming is nice and restful and relaxing. I think on Saturday, we're going to talk about what to do if you think your job is about to end. I think that's what we're going to talk about. I think, right? Because some women this week got some notification. It's time to pull up out of here. Time to pull up out of this job. Time to look for something different or better or retire or something. So I think that's what we're going to talk about, but I don't have a guest yet. So let me find somebody to come and talk the talk for us to help us navigate this time of change for some of the women in this community. Okay, thanks for hanging out, friends. Don't forget to hit the like button before you go. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for liking the video. Feel free to share it with a Black woman you know who's considering trying a new place, checking out a new city or a new country or a new city in a new country. Okay. Share this with her so that you're not keeping things to yourself. I didn't keep anything to myself. I told you everything. Okay. Please pass that on to somebody else. Thank you. Okay. All right, friends. Happy Thursday evening. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye. Did you hit the like button? Okay, thank you. Bye.